broadcast. Let's see who accepts it.
Cool.
Everything you say will be used against you.
Okay, let's see.
You are correct.
We have the right to remain silent.
Twitch Radio.
Okay, Twitch has accepted the stream.
Thank you, Twitch.
YouTube has accepted the stream. And Facebook has accepted the stream. Should I send you guys the links?
Well, is it on Think Twice? Oh, here we go. Okay. You want to share that one?
Found it, huh?
Yeah, just share it on. Okay.
I love it when people are so attuned with you, John.
That's me, attuned. Hey, folks.
And Matt, do you need the link now? Do you share up before the show?
No, I share after.
Okay. John, I just need you to tell me when you want me to start.
Oh, I'd say start.
Start? Okay.
I'm okay. Yeah.
Let's go over here. Okay, when the timer says you're on the air, you're on the air, okay?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Itch everything.
I press the start button.
Okay.
And it's working.
Hello, Think Twice Radio.
Hey. How you doing?
Welcome to our show.
Yeah, welcome. Hi, folks.
Hi.
Hey, we're here. We're back. We're back again.
We're back again, unfortunately for you.
Yeah.
So buckle up. We're in for another exciting show of Smalltalk.
Yes.
Matt and John.
Yeah, sit down, fix yourself a drink, put the cat out, take the cat back in. Yeah. Comb your back, whatever you got to do.
Yeah. So we have a couple exciting topics on today's show. So what do we have in store for the audience, John?
Okay. Well, we're going to talk about whale fall.
Oh, whale fall.
Okay. Also, I'm going to promote some upcoming art shows I have going on. First Friday, guys, I want you all to come out.
Oh, nice.
And also, I'm going to have a show up at Parables Gallery.
Okay.
And music is art. It's going to be crazy. But also, but we're going to talk about whale fall first, and then Luddites.
Luddites and Memecoins. I want to talk about Memecoins and why they matter.
Oh, okay.
And then also talk a more serious subject of a recent accident that happened that I think
it's too bad.
It's time we do something about bicycle safety.
Yeah.
So let's start with what? Luddites or whale fall?
How about Luddites?
Okay. Let's start with what's a Luddite? I don't know. I'm ignorant.
Okay, so they use a term now for people who don't like technology or want to smash technology, but really it's more than that, because it was based on in the early 18th century. There's a group of people, they became known as Luddites. These were like textile workers from England, and basically they were skilled people who, like, this was before technology really started rolling, but they had a skill, and they could work for a few days a week looming, and they're making their looms in their homes, darning socks. Socks was a big thing, and they're doing embroidery, these folks, and they could make a good living doing that.
So Luddites, from my understanding, they're kind of like what's the Amish a little bit?
Not necessarily. They've been compared to Amish, but these are just working folk like you and me, whose jobs were like affected by technology. Like, they were just sitting there doing, making their living, and the same way AI is like slowly edging us out and doing weird stuff with us. These are people who, they're just regular folks, and
so we're like modern Luddites.
Yeah, but basically what happened is manufacturers, the system is they discovered they could make money with having automated looms. They had machines that could make socks really cheaply.
Do they not wear shoes? This picture has them with only one shot.
Okay, now is that man wearing a dress? Because yes, okay. There was tales of Luddites wearing dresses and smashing machines, which
says the leader of the Luddites.
Yes. Now, the leader of the Luddites, but this is the thing. was he a real person?
Well, maybe just an archetype of the Luddites.
Yeah, well, because there was actually, legend was there was a guy named Ned Ludd who smashed his loom when his boss told him to fix it. He may have been not existed, but as this was like a bunch of like just regular folks who started this organization, and they only interacted with each other, and they kind of did make up this guy named General Ludd. But the English police were like, we have to find this General Ludd, and like they were looking for years, and it took them a long time to realize that he was like Robin Hood. He just really didn't exist, or did he? He probably didn't.
Probably.
But basically what they would do is they had guilds, but basically all of a sudden these people went from working a couple days a week enjoying their craft to working the way we are now, like 12-hour crazy days. Children working, women working, and also working really hard for not a lot of money.
Yeah. So it's funny how the times change.
Yeah.
No, the times change, but they really don't at the same time. It's kind of the same.
And their only way of protesting was like, hey, we're going to smash some of your machinery. And they successfully went in and they smashed, they never really hurt anybody.
Hurt the machines.
They hurt the machines. I think one guy did get shot, but he was going to shoot at kids. So it's one of those deals. Like some guy was like, I'm going to fill the streets with Luddite blood, but he got shot instead in the groin, which is...
Are the Luddites still around?
Not official. It's just a term. It's like, oh, Matt, don't be such a Luddite. It's a term we use.
But it seems like now with AI, with AI coming on, we all need a little... rejuvenate our Luddite spirits.
Yeah, is it time for the Butlerian Jihad, like from Dune? Dune, it's basically they rebel against the robots, and that which is and they win. But yeah, I mean, where are we headed?
Which seems good because I think technology, and I think the Buddha was right. He talks about the middle way.
Yeah.
Whereas I think we need. Right. It's you can't be. And I feel like you can't be all against technology. Say it's bad. I'm going to shun it completely. And you also can't just be completely subordinate to technology. You need to find, like Buddha said, the middle path of what is. Especially with all the technology we have currently, how do you use technology to improve your life, but do not overtake your life? I think that's the challenge that us modern men face.
It's a tough challenge. It's like I am very attached to my phone and my technology that I use.
That's the problem. Is you kind of you need, not that you need it, but if you don't use your phone at all, you're going to get left behind. Yeah. But then if you're all in your phone, you also you lose your humanity. But if you can find that balance, how do we blend our humanity with technology, right? If you're a fully functioning autonomous human being, using a phone effectively, right? You have the Library of Alexandria at your fingertips. You have artificial intelligence that you can dictate what to do. You don't need to be the victim. You don't need to have AI control you. You can control AI, and you can use that. It's a superpower, right? I think it's and I think we're still figuring out how we take that, because I subscribe to not that it's humans versus computers, but I think we're, especially with the singularity, it's a theory of technology. I think humanity is, I think we're evolving into some sort of new species where I don't think it's AI or humans. I think we're kind of, AI and humans are merging to become some sort of new species of something. I don't know. I think almost a new thing.
They say, the first things of humans are going to go out in space is our robots, our machinery. Like, I think it was like the Voyager already left the solar system, and they say in the future, we'll just, because it takes so long to send the things into space. You were just said like robots. You're gonna find these aliens are gonna find, what are these weird creatures? And they're gonna be like, they're made of metal. Like, no, but those will be human robots.
But the thing is, like, a machine or computer can it can withstand the elements the same way. If my meat bag was in space, it wouldn't last more than a second before it would evaporate. I don't even know what that would But so I think, but also, computers and technology, they can't, at this point, think creatively. Like, only really humans, we're quirky, and we have the ability, our neural pathways are all firing in different ways based on our genetics and our experiences, and who even knows? I don't think we fully understand it, but I feel like humans are always going to be uniquely creative and uniquely able to kind of steer the ship and balance a bunch of different things, which I think right now computer is very much tell it what to do, it does what it says, and it's very, very good at that, way better than any human can be. But I think that's where I'm interested in how do we as humans, can we use computer technology to liberate ourselves and to become more human, right? If we're all burdened by bureaucratic jobs, rudimentary jobs that just say, assembly line, do this over again, over again. Anyone working on assembly line is not going to be a fully functioning human. How can we empower, humans to use their creativity and to use their uniqueness to fully contribute to humanity?
Yeah, we want. It would be great. I hope we figure it out someday.
Same, and that's the thing is it's up to us, right? It's not no one's coming to save us, which I think is kind of. It's sad, but also liberating at the same time. It's like we are here to we control our destiny.
There's no helpful aliens that come help us out.
Maybe it'd be nice.
It'd be nice if they gave us a little help once in a while. I mean, I
think we could still leave kind of like Santa Claus, how you leave cookies out, so he gives you good gifts. Maybe we could use some sort of peace offering. We should have like a peace offering on the moon.
That's a great idea. Okay, it's better than my old idea of blowing up Uranus. Or blowing up Neptune.
Blowing it up?
Just blowing up just to show them, hey, look, we're nuts. We could blow up a planet. Stay away.
Well, maybe you could put some sort of button on the moon, whereas if there's a peace offering and it says, if you don't trust us, press this button. So if you didn't take the peace offering, maybe they hit a button, then Uranus blew up. Then they would know, oh, okay.
Yeah.
We can't cross.
We got to stay away from it. Yeah, these guys are serious. Because there's levels of civilization. They say that'll up us a level once we're, once we're messing around with the very planets and stars themselves.
I kind of think too, we might be the aliens, right? We might be early stage civilization aliens, and we will eventually be, we will be the tardigrade computing technology exploring the universe. But we're just still we're like the amoeba, right? We are to aliens as amoebas are to humans. Of it's very early stage, but eventually we'll lead there.
This could be a whole show, but there's a disturbing book about the evolution of man. Maybe we might show that at another show, but it shows different ways that humans could evolve, and they're all very creepy. Like they're all very like what if we evolved into like platypus-like beings, or like had to like drink like out of like straws, or we had to live in deep space and we'd have these shells around us. It's all really nutty things that I'm rooting for. We turn into anime people who look like anime people with giant eyes who are all cute. That's what I want humans to evolve into. I don't want to like evolve into like they have like beings that would live off of other human beings, like
what's the animal
like
suckerfish? Suckerfish.
Yeah.
Aren't the birds that pick the crocodile teeth and they just kind of sit on their back?
Yeah, we don't want to be that. We want to be like Superman, or like in the movie Prometheus, they meet these humans who are just
My phone's ringing. I have to put silent.
I wonder who it could be.
Rang once.
In the movie Prometheus, there's like superhumans in the future, and they look like gods, basically.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm for that. But
I think and technology is right. It's not that it's God, but it's kind of in a way. It's kind of dictating to humans. Right?
I've heard this theory from Cousin Lou. A very interesting theory is, could aliens be us from the future?
Huh.
Where we're like coming back, coming back from deep time, being like, hey, hey, Junior, eat more gluten, try to evolve your brain a little bit more, trying to do things, trying to help us out.
Yeah, but aren't there movies, and isn't that the theory too? If, you could make some small change in the past, but it would actually have, large ramifications in the forward. So kind of, that's the thing is, it's kind of crazy too when you think about just the reality we live in is just a bunch of random events that just occurred by chance and we're just here. But a lot of little things could have changed and we could be in a completely different reality.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about the future.
Oh, great. Okay.
I want to talk about meme coins.
Okay, what are those? What are they?
So when I say, do you know anything about a meme coin?
I know what a meme is.
Okay.
And I kind of know what Bitcoins are.
Yeah. I guess, a good way to think of meme coins is kind of a Venn diagram of a meme and a Bitcoin. So Meme coins, essentially, they just use, right, they're a spin-off kind of Bitcoin's blockchain technology. So they're using blockchain to make their own coins, and they're called meme coins. So I think the most popular meme coin is, are you familiar with Dogecoin?
No.
Okay, so Dogecoin it's a cryptocurrency, right? There's many different meme coins, but Dogecoin is the most popular meme coin. So it's one Dogecoin is worth right now 9 cents. But essentially, Dogecoin started as like a joke, right? And we're familiar with memes. It really just started off as a joke of, hey, what if some guy just said, what if I just made a coin about dogs? And he just made Dogecoin. And then it became really popular, and people started buying it. And it's a meme coin. And then that kind of inspired a lot of other different meme coins. So there's Shiba Inu is another meme coin that was made that's kind of a spin-off of Dogecoin. So meme coins are kind of like joke coins, or like they're literally, not that they're worthless, because they're not. They're actually worth lots of money. Right now, as I record, the market cap of Dogecoin is $14 billion. So if you owned all the Dogecoin in the world, you'd own $14 billion.
That's all I want.
Well, yeah, that's the thing is anybody can buy. And the reason Doge or meme coins are so popular is like, even when like a Shiba Inu is worth 0.00001 cents, so you can like spend $10 and own like a million Shiba Inu, which sounds like a lot. So it's kind of a way for people to feel. Yeah, if you say, I own 5 million Dogecoin. It sounds
it sounds cool. So
yeah. The thing is, like, they're jokes. Like, I think, but they matter too, right? Like, there's no economic or academic model that can explain. Right, every expert says that meme coins are worthless, but in the real life, and especially the last bull run, meme coins got up to like really ridiculous valuations, and I think why they matter is it's kind of. Do you remember when it was? I think. What was it? It was the Wall Street bets. Remember when the Redditors, they kind of just like started manipulating the markets, the people on Reddit? They bought, I think it was AMC stock.
Or was it a GameStop or something?
Yeah, so people on the internet, especially during COVID, in the internet, the Reddit group, just started buying useless stocks, and all the experts said, that's not worth anything. And then I think it was the first kind of iteration of almost, you had this, again, coming back to our vision of like humanity of like, we're evolving. It was really one of the first times that large groups of small individuals realized, if we all work together, we can manipulate markets ourselves. So people started buying up, GameStop and AMC stock and pumping up the price. And I think meme coins matter because they're kind of like, it's really the first iteration of culture culture and jokes and memes being able to accrue value, if that makes sense. But I think people scoff at them. But right now there's like thousands and thousands of meme coins, so anybody can make a meme coin. You can just spin it off and then make it worth. And it kind of fits into the whole kind of the Wild West of analogy that we talked about last week of crypto is kind of the Wild West, but it's kind of feeds into people's ability of like, hey, I can make up a meme coin and strike it rich. But again, lots of people, there's also lots of meme coins that aren't worth anything. So it's kind of a phenomenon that's really starting to emerge in Web3, which is the crypto thing. But I think, like Dogecoin itself was made up as a joke, and right now it's the number 8 cryptocurrency in the whole world. And it just started as a big joke.
Oh, whoa. Dogecoin. Whoa.
Yeah, there's Dogecoin, Pepe, Bonkcoin is Bonkcoin is a meme coin on the Solana blockchain. So, there's like a whole universe. I mean, Floki coin, Brett coin, Popcat coin, Dog coin, Turbo coin, Simon's Cat, Mega coin.
Oh, that's funny.
It's just a very interesting phenomenon that I don't think any academic can really explain rationally. Ooh, I hope they turn into lots of money. Yeah, I think that's the hope of everything. I think it's a good example of how cultures, I mean, especially with Web3, where communities can kind of create their own value on the internet. It's really, we're still in the early days of meme coins. But it's kind of, if you think of almost memes in finance, it's kind of, if I could briefly describe a meme coin.
Well, did you ever hear about the World of Warcraft And I think there's stuff that you could buy, like for your in the World of Warcraft, like that's like
skins and
but you could buy it, but also people could like mine in the World of Warcraft to find items or something. Or I think in Minecraft too, and you could buy them.
Yeah. I think even lots of video games. I think it's Minecraft where you can actually like, people that play video games can. I think and I'm not a Minecrafter, so I'm not. But you can like go on with put your credit card, your Visa or Master credit card into the computer, and then you can buy digital skins for your character, right? So you can like use physical money to buy digital things. But the thing is, if the Minecraft servers got hacked, or if you just lost. Or if something happened to your character, that skin wouldn't go away. Whereas Web3 and crypto, and especially blockchain, is starting to create where not only. So the problem is, if I buy a skin in Minecraft, I can't take that skin anywhere else. It's stuck in Minecraft system. Whereas crypto and blockchain's creating a world that, I could buy a skin in Minecraft, and then some other developer can make some other thing, and you can just put your skin in your wallet and transport over to another game. So it's we're moving towards a world where using crypto and using blockchain, you can really be able to port your data over between different systems. So someone could spin off their own thing and say, hey, anyone with a Minecraft skin can use it in this game that's not related. So it's and that's the thing, is we're still in the early stages of we've created digital economies that are, using legacy technologies, right? We're in digital games that, you can buy digital skin, but you have to use a Visa credit card. You have to use paper money to buy it, which doesn't make sense. We're in these new blockchains, whether it's Ethereum, whether it's Solana, or some other chain, we're moving towards a world where you can actually not only own your digital things, but say you bought something in Facebook. We're moving towards a world where you can buy something in Facebook, but then put it in your digital wallet and transport it to a different website, different system. So it's we're moving towards this almost liberated internet where users can move seamlessly between apps. So if Facebook or Twitter pisses you off, you can take your data with you, put it in your wallet, and move over to a different system.
That would be nice. Like if you could take all your pictures and stuff and go from one site to another, because like I have a lot of my pictures in DeviantArt, and it would be great if I could put them all onto Facebook, or into Instagram, but I can't. But I have to move them individually,
right? Because ultimately you upload your art, your pictures, and one of the use cases for crypto that's been really popular is NFTs, or non-fungible tokens, which are you can use digital art. You can put it on a blockchain. So even artists, think of it. If you have your art gallery, you can sell a picture. But say someone buys a picture at a physical event and then takes your picture and the next weekend goes to a festival and sells your picture for $20. You don't make any money on that, right? You only make one-time sale. Where blockchain's moving towards it, where it actually is liberating artists. So a lot of time, artists have been really the most exploited class of workers. And you create art, you get paid once, and then the appreciation of your art, you don't benefit over that. In the future, we're moving towards a world, and artists are starting to pick up on this too, of, hey, I can make art, put it on a blockchain, and then I can write in the smart contract in the blockchain, every time this piece of art is sold, I get a 5% cut. So it makes it so that you can sell your art not just once, but if your art appreciates in value and people start trading your art, you can get a cut of it every time. Especially when you think of musicians and artists. Musicians are notoriously exploited, right? They create music, they create art, and they have to go to a record company, which then they essentially get paid once, right? The record company makes them a deal, pays them for their music, and then it wasn't like Michael Jackson, who the Beatles owned his catalog, or vice versa, but essentially,
it was he bought their catalog.
Well, I saw with Taylor Swift too, right? She was young, she recorded a song or something, and then the record company owned her song, so she actually re-recorded her own song so she could own her own songs. And it's really the example of this centralized legacy system where artists create art, they sell it once, and then their art is owned by someone else. Whereas in the future, I'm really hopeful that blockchain and crypto will help empower artists. artists, and not just artists, but communities of artists.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
So speaking of art, do we want to talk about your physical art events?
Okay, hey, everybody, this Friday, go down to Mike Mully's. It's at 12 College Street. If you haven't been there, basically Mike opens up his backyard, and I'll have my art up there, along with like dozens of other artists will have their art up in his backyard, and there'll be drinks and food, some food to eat, and a bonfire, and people just sit around and talk. I'll be there. You can come. Our cousin Lou will be there.
And art.
Yeah,
it's art under the stars, and that's part of First Friday in Allentown, right? Where it's
Now, but also this month I'm gonna put up stuff at Parables Gallery too. Me and Sophie.
Okay, so what's your art show? When's it start?
That one will be, I think, Saturday in September the 9th, I believe.
Okay, and is that, do you have kind of like an opening gallery and then?
Yeah, it'll be Saturday. I only have like 3 pieces in there, and Sophie has a bunch of stuff. Yeah, it's just, if you guys are around, go to Parables Gallery.
Parables, which is where? Parables
is on Delaware, or no? It's on Elmwood.
Okay.
Elmwood, yeah.
That's around. Yeah. Google it and
go.
You can show up to the art
Go up
show.
and you'll see. You can meet me.
In real life, and not in the virtual world.
Yeah, not in the virtual world. Back in the real world. Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah. So, and hopefully I'll be at Music is Art too. So.
Okay. Which is late September.
Yeah. So.
What do you think you'll be doing at Music is Art? You'll have
selling shirts and actual art. And, like, I'll have my art up. Sophie will bring her art in, and we'll be hopefully selling like our paintings and stuff like that. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, do you want to talk about, was it waterfall? Whale fall?
Whale fall. Okay.
What's whale fall?
All sorts of creepy things happen in the deep ocean. And one of them is this thing called whale fall.
Well, we don't really even know it's in the ocean. That's like the last explored frontier, right?
Yeah.
There's all types of weird stuff.
Yeah. Now, what can kill a whale? Nothing. Like, so apparently,
killer whales?
Maybe killer whales can kill them, but I think sometimes whales they die of cancer or old age, or they have heart attacks, whale heart attacks. And what happens is, a whale carcass is the equivalent of falling to the seafloor, is the equivalent of 2,000 years of food falling down.
Whoa.
So it's this huge biomass. And the first things that come in are like goblin sharks and hagfish. I don't know if you have any pictures of hagfish in there. And as it will fall, those things like descend, like fish and sharks. And what the hagfish will do, it attaches it deep inside, and then it twists around and around and around, and it makes its body into a knot, and then it pulls the knot. It can pull whale stuff out of there.
It's kind of like a Buddhist sky burial, but in the ocean.
Yeah, and this will go on for like 2 years.
So it's just decomposing.
It's decomposing, and things are just eating it. And there's stuff, and there's like 3 different stages of it. There's like first stage, the general specialists come in, and those are like hagfish and leopard sharks and some octopuses. But then in the enrichment stage, like crabs will come up, and you got crabs and octopuses. There's weird. I think you can see them in there.
There's a great number of polychaete worms, crustaceans, and other organisms colonize the bones in enriched sediments surrounding the whale fall.
Yeah. Yes, and it's like, and there's things they'll live off of the chemistry. They don't live off of oxygen. They live off like chemicals. They're chemosynthetic. That's like in the. It's called the sulfuric state.
Okay, this looks like stage 3, sulfuric stage, up to 50 years. Once the soft tissue is removed from the bones, bacteria, ossidax worms, clams, and other organisms break down lipids within the fatty bones and produce sulfides, which other organisms can then consume. Yeah,
and it's just a whole different ecology system. Now, the fun thing is about the ossidax worms, you know what that means?
No.
Bone-eating worms.
They eat bones.
They eat bones, and the fun thing about them is They have no anus.
Huh.
No anus, because they're they're a weird kind of worm where they dissolve. They shoot their tendrils like roots into they like dissolve the bones and take the chemistry out.
Look at this. The stage 4, it says reef stage, unknown.
Yeah.
Whale falls have only been studied for a few decades, but scientists believe the hard mineral skeleton left behind after nutrients have been consumed eventually provides structure for deep sea suspension feeders.
Yeah, those guys.
So we don't even know anything about the reef stage.
That just goes on. And the other thing about the Osedex worms, this is a fun thing. They originally were like, they thought they were all female, and they were like, where are the males? Because they found like what they thought was sperm, like in the female's body. They're like, wow, that must be sperm. And then they realized those weren't the sperm; those were the actual males. There were hundreds of thousands of little males
who were just sperm.
They looked like sperm, but they were actually
really tiny
males living in the female body. I think they call it like a harem, like basically a male harem inside this worm.
Which was the female.
Which is a female.
The females were big of the Osedex worms.
Yeah, and this thing doesn't even live off of oxygen. It's like a whole chemical process, and it's just a gross thing. It's like, but yeah, it's just like a great thing. Like if you're.
That's interesting. It reminds me of the Buddhist sky burials, but this seems like the Buddhist sky burial, but in the ocean.
In the ocean, yeah, because
we don't.
Yeah.
Huh. I wonder how that would ring at a cocktail party. I'm a whale fall scientist. Oh, what's that mean? Oh, I study decaying whale carcasses on the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah. Well, in recent news, was Robert F. Kennedy is famous for sawing off a whale head.
Yeah.
And putting it on the top of his car.
That seems kind of crazy. What do you think that was all about?
Well, you know what? We'll talk about that for years. It's kind of thing like I don't think any other presidential candidate has ever or ever will do that. Basically, it's hardcore.
And yeah, I don't know if you saw the RFK news, but he had since our last episode, he dropped out of the race.
Yeah.
He endorsed Trump.
Yeah.
But during his, and he got interviewed, actually, he was interviewed on Tucker Carlson, and they actually had a really good segment where he was talking about, he was talking about RFK was talking about the environment. He was saying, the environment's not important because of, it has spiritual importance to us. And he started talking about the spiritual importance of nature. Yeah. And I don't know enough about, but it seems like he's very, I don't know. I was kind of blown away when he was just talking. I would just wish we had leaders that talked about the environment the same way. He was talking about how kind of the whole climate movement, because he has this background where he was a waterkeeper lawyer. He was an environmentalist.
Yeah.
And he says he's kind of been put to the fringes. And when you think of the modern environmental movement, it's all about carbon. It's all about quantifying carbon, keeping carbon down. And in his little segment, he was talking about how that's missing the point. Is the point of the environment is not just to minimize carbon. It's literally, it has a spiritual importance. And then he went about all the great religions started in nature, and it thinks because even that whale fall, there's so much we could probably learn from studying whale falls of this environment.
It just literally then becomes nutrients for countless creatures, and they go out and they get eaten, they eat other creatures, they breed, they multiply, and and they're saying like there's like 70 or 60 or 70 of these whale falls a year, but they'll be
really. I would think. I just thought a whale body would float. I guess because you see them when they come on the beach. I guess they.
I think they do float for a time because
and then they sink.
Gas builds up. I know a human body will resurface after 11 days because the gas it blows up and you're like in this game called Dig Dug, and then you're floating. You're a floater. That's why remember that. So when you're getting rid of bodies,
one of the things our society does a very good job of just putting in a wood box and out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
And especially when you think about other cultures, prehistoric cultures, it seems like the modern man has lost a lot of our connection to nature.
Yeah.
Because because just when you think of prehistoric and just ancient cultures and even native cultures, they just seem much more in tune with the earth, with what the winds meant, what the stars in certain places meant. And I just fear, coming back to our Luddite conversation, we are maybe tilting too far towards the technology end of the spectrum.
We're living for our things, man.
It's definitely changing. I always joke too that now would be a good time for Jesus to show up, right? Because Jesus could show up, he could make a TikTok, and he could make a TikTok account, and he could reach all the humans. It was like, if you were Jesus, why would you resurrect yourself in Jerusalem in the year 0? Right? You don't have much scale there. But if you became Jesus in the year 2024 in Hollywood, you could make a TikTok, and then everybody could hear your sermon.
And he had a lot of great one-liners that would just really, you could always go back centuries later. Oh, that really is really should be like the path of humanity. And it's, usually these like wonderful, deep, insightful things where you're like, whoa, that's really, really smart there, Jesus.
And I feel like all the religions are all different, but they're all pointing at kind of a singular, but they're all pointing in the same direction, right? They're all, there's really no religions, or maybe that's just how all religions are kind of saying the same thing, be a good person, be contemplative, there's, so I just, it seems like, I feel like the modern person is kind of, technology, right, is becoming our God. It's becoming our technology. Or even in America, I joke that, football is the new church, right? Football owns Sunday. The church used to own Sundays. There's a great quote from a movie. The church used to own Sundays. Now the NFL does. Which, I don't know. Just a critique of the modern times.
The modern times.
Speaking of modern times, I wanted to bring up, definitely not a lighter subject, but I wanted to talk about a recent news story. But over the past week, we had an NHL hockey player, Johnny Gaudreau, and his brother, Matthew Gaudreau. They were hit riding their bicycles the day before their sister's weddings, and they unfortunately passed away.
Oh, no.
Johnny Gaudreau was a hockey player, and his brother. So I think there's a couple reasons why this story, to me, hit a couple personal chords. Obviously, there's the human element, right? It's beyond tragic, beyond brutal, and all our prayers and thoughts go out to the Gaudreau family, and to lose. I couldn't imagine losing two brothers who were supposed to be groomsmen the day before their wedding. So there's the human element, which is brutal, terrible. There's also like the hockey element too, right? So I grew up playing hockey, and Johnny Gaudreau, he is a Hobie Baker winner, which is a top college player. He was, I think he was on the Olympic team, but he was a top level player. And then his brother Matthew also played college hockey. So they're both two hockey players. So the hockey community lost not only good hockey players, but all the stories that have come out of, they are also like just good human beings. And then the third element too is just as a planner and as a bicyclist too. It's just, I think we think a lot about like the gun epidemic in our country, right? But I think at the same time we're also battling like a car epidemic of it's become way too normalized in our society and in the United States that
you die by car.
You die by car, right? Like, if Johnny Gaudreau, wasn't an NHL player, this story wouldn't have got any coverage. But it's still, two brothers dying before their sister's wedding because some guy was drunk and made a bad move. And he was drunk. He sounds like they were on the right side of the road. A car went to give them room, and some drunk guy in the back tried passing that car, saw he pulled the middle, and then swerved onto the shoulder. So I just think it's just so normalized in our culture, right? And every day there's some, maybe not this extreme, but there's some young person, some bicyclist, some pedestrian that just
is in the wrong place.
Gets wrong place, wrong time, made no mistake of their own. Just that's the cost we as a society have dealt. It's just okay. It's okay that pedestrians. It's okay that bicyclists die by vehicle. It's just the cost of doing business.
And countless animals.
Yeah, not to
Countless.
speak of animals.
It's like, oh my God, yeah. You see, I always feel bad whenever I see an animal. Like I'm like, oh, that poor little skunk or raccoon or cat or what. You see it. And I'm always like, oh, I am always upset when I see an animal. I mean,
I think they have like animal tunnels where, I think it's, I don't know. Since I've heard the story, I've thought, what can I do? What can we do? I mean, it just feels very much like at least for me, like there's just such especially as a bicyclist, right? I feel this as a bicyclist, and today I was driving home on my bicycle, but like I've had a couple of close incidents. And the thing when you're a bicyclist, and you have a right to be on the road as a bicyclist, right? The roads are not just for cars, they're for bicyclists, but when you're bicycling, you not only are responsible for yourself, but you bear the consequences of everybody else's mistake or accident. And I was, not that I was almost hit, but today I was bicycling home on the shoulder road, being, head on a swivel, safety vest, and it's just, we live in a society that worships the automobile and prioritizes the automobile and the convenience of the commuter over actual human beings. And I don't know how we change that, but it's just disturbing that we have this. And somebody tweeted a good graph out on Twitter, but this is a graph, and automobiles have become safer and safer over time, right? Because we do the crush dummies and things.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when we test cars, and cars too have become heavier and heavier and heavier. Mm-hmm. But this was a graph that it was deaths per 2 vehicle crashes, and this chart just shows the gray is, so on the x-axis we have the weight of the car, on the y-axis we have the number of deaths. But essentially, as your car gets heavier, your car becomes safer, and you become safer in your car, but everyone else is more at risk. So the more heavier the car, the less likely you are to die in your car, but the more likely everyone else is to die in their car, right? So if you're in a pickup truck or you're in a heavy truck, you could get in a crash, you'll be fine, but the sedan you hit or the small car you hit, those people will die.
Whacked,
right, there's the pedestrians, bicyclists, but there's also just other cars, and and I hope maybe self-driving cars can help solve this problem. I think really at this point it's so ingrained in our culture, driving. So I'm hoping and I'm hopeful that through innovations, technology, perhaps with automated driving cars, they can become safer, and also too, as maybe if we have in the future, fleets of self-driving cars, it lessens the need to everyone have their own car and everyone to drive. And I think that's the thing with self-driving cars is, obviously they're not perfect yet, but anytime a self-driving car gets in a crash, it's all in the news, right? That's all you hear is AI computer. Yeah. But meanwhile, in every small town in America, every day, some drunk guy's behind the wheel, and it barely gets a blip on the local news, the national news. So it's kind of similar to airplane crashes, right? Airplane crashes, it's
big news.
It's big news, but they don't cover all the planes that land in safe crashly. So that's kind of a segment. I mean, that story, I think it's affected everyone that's heard it, just because of the human element, but also obviously as a former hockey player and then as a bicyclist. I don't know, and I'm hoping, I don't know what we can do, but it's I don't find it acceptable that our society just allows vehicles. We need to prioritize human beings because we are human. I don't even know if we redesign our streets and our cities to accommodate and prioritize bicyclists and pedestrians. But I just hope we can. I don't know what to do, but it's just disturbing to me.
Yeah, it is. But it is disturbing about how there are things that like kill people all the time we just don't think about, and there's other things that are incredibly safe. Like I heard that today they were mentioning about nuclear versus coal. Nuclear, very few people have died from nuclear power, but coal, there's been scores of people, like entire town, people over the years who've died, miners just squished and died of diseases of black lung over the years. But if there's a nuclear accident, the whole world hears about it. It is terrible.
And I'm not a nuclear person. I mean, I just know that there's fission and fusion, and I'm not too different. I know just from what I've heard, the light amount of research on it seems like one of the options is safer or has potential. But that's the thing is, that's dangerous too, because everybody knows Chernobyl, everyone knows the accident in Tokyo. We don't want that at all.
Yeah.
But at the same time, also, we can't continue to, like you're saying, burn fossil fuels, burn coal.
Yeah.
We need to find innovative ways to power humanity. It seems like at this point now, really we have two options, right? Two roads. We can either start using less power, less electricity, or we can start using more efficient, more effective ways of electricity. And it seems like realistically only have that path of becoming more efficient, becoming more innovative in how we power our society.
Yeah, like in the future, I want though, like say we go to all electric, like okay, but then it's gonna be crazy getting the batteries. We're gonna have to mine for those, and that's gonna have a bad impact, and we'll have to think about that and be mindful of that and try to figure out better. Though those, I'll say this, the batteries are getting more and more and more efficient every day, all the time. They're storing more.
We do almost need some radical innovation because like you're saying, and even I get concerned I don't know if you've seen images of the lithium mines where you just see all these poor people, probably in Africa somewhere, all huddled, mining lithium, and meanwhile we, in the West, too, just cell phone, screen crack, throw out, new cell phone, and even cars too. I remember I got in an accident, and cars, they're built to crumble, right? So, or even if they don't crumble, we don't build our cars to last more than 10 years. Yeah. And I think just a lot of our, somehow too, our whole society is becoming, even my parents' washing machine, they had a washing machine from like the 80s or like the 70s, and the mechanic's like, oh, never sell this thing will never break, because literally we're making things. For some reason, the cars and the things we used to make in the old days were built very heavily, built durable, built to last. And as things have gotten more expensive, more complex, and of lesser quality, because right now everything's so dependent on, especially cars too, they're so computer-based that, this chip fails, the car's useless now. Yeah. Whereas the old mechanical cars, a Dodge van, Chevy truck.
You could keep those things going.
You could. They all had the same generic part. Where now it's like, do you have a Hyundai 2019 or 2017? Do you have a 17 Model I? Because they all use different parts depending on their year and their model. Yeah. And it, I think it's partly based on the business model, right? Yeah. If we make parts that are unique to our part, then you sell the customer the car first, but then you get them into an agreement where they can only come to our mechanic, and then they have to buy our parts to get it fixed. So it just seems like our whole economy is just based on, obviously, right, it's all based on profiting and building business models where we can maximize profit, and I don't know how you fix that, but I think a lot of the problems are just based on the convenience mindset, right? Whether it's we sit at home, you eat your TV dinner, you flip on Amazon, you commute to work in your car, right? You sit there, you don't have to pedal, you just put your foot on the gas, and but moving towards a convenient society.
TV. At the EKG, they're the Albright Knox.
The AKG?
AKG, there's an artist there, and she did this great sculpture of herself eating a TV dinner. It's just really good. It was really funny, but it was like, TV dinners were more of a thing, like when they first came out in the 70s, like, just eat your TV dinner, man,
It's true. I feel like there's a whole business model waiting to be explored for like an internet dinner. I don't have any sort of dinner that I can eat at my computer.
Yeah.
The TV dinner, you can use both hands. With a computer dinner, you need your right hand on your mouse or your left hand on your keyboard, vice versa.
Yeah, so that would be hard to do.
I love TV dinners. You microwave, you put it in your microwave, heat it up, and then
because there's like a meat in the one thing, and maybe like something over here and something over there.
They even had all the food groups. You had your carbs, your frozen vegetables.
Yeah. I'm such a maniac. I'm like, I would need 2 TV dinners.
Well, the portion sizes are very small.
Yeah, for me, it's like, but portion sizes too. It's I don't know. I've conditioned myself to need big portions of everything.
Yeah, I think that's a uniquely American thing. We definitely the whole country's kind of becoming Texas in a way. Everything's becoming bigger.
Yeah, but so what else is going on new in the news? Oh, we have the communist infiltrator in New York State.
What's that?
Some lady, she was working for Hochul. And a lady and her husband, and the FBI nabbed them. And when I first read this story, I thought, oh, this is another conservative calling Democrats communists. And that's what I actually accused the person of saying that. And then I read, like, no, it was like this, I don't know, a state official. She was doing something with the Chinese government, like getting secrets and stuff. I mean, I don't know what the Chinese government want to know about New York State. I mean, I don't know, are they trying to learn from us? Or?
So I didn't hear about this. As someone, in New York State.
Yeah.
So it says, this is Elise Stefanik, who is a council New York State representative. Yeah. Stefanik calls for investigation into Hochul administration hiring communist Chinese spy. Yeah. Failed far-left Democrat Kathy Hochul allowed communist Chinese spy Linda Sun unfettered access to the highest levels of New York State government. From allowing Chinese police stations to maintain a sister city partnership between New York City and Beijing. So who's this Linda Spy? I guess I don't know. Or Linda Sun.
Yeah. It's funny, the faux outrage about it, though. Like, the Democrats. Like, meanwhile, when you look on the other side, oh, yeah, there she is.
This is CNN.
Cute girl.
Former aide. Well, that's how they get you, right? That's how.
Cute girl, yeah.
The spies, they know how to use their, they know what they got at their disposal. But former aide to New York governor is charged with acting as an agent of the Chinese government. Yeah. So I think this is just an example, too, of, right? And I especially think Americans, too, we are like experts at having tunnel vision. I think Americans, especially if I traveled, we have the inability to like zoom out and see things from other perspectives. Right? And I think you see this with whether it's, the war in Ukraine or the Middle East. Like our leaders and our society just, ultimately defaults to our view. Russia bad, we're good. Yeah. That's the problem. Whereas like, we have the ability to zoom out and say, that's right, but also, we need to see our perspective. And I think that's the thing is, we as Americans, I feel like we're so comfortable that we fail to understand that other countries, whether it's China, whether it's Iran, they are not our friends. They don't like us. They want to see us fail. And one way they're doing that is, this is an example of, they're trying, ultimately, probably the Chinese government was sending this person over to work in New York State because they want to understand our system so that they can then use that against us.
And they're patriots. They love their country. They love China. They're like, it's not the old red, white, blue. It's the old red. And I think there's one other color,
And and I just feel like, our country, we're so divided, right? We face threats internally through our own divisions, but also externally through foes. Yeah. And unfortunately, I think we're going to need some sort of external shock. It seems like we almost, not that we need it, unfortunately, knock on wood, but how do you galvanize Americans to come together and fight the external? Because we are facing external, right? What were those balloons in Alaska? We never find out what those were.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Were those, just friendly tourists?
I think they're a combination. Some of them were Chinese spy balloons. Some were just weather balloons. Some were Chinese spy balloons.
Well, that's the thing is, like, there's lots of funny stuff that's been around. Whether it's all American Social Security numbers getting hacked, or the Chinese spy balloons. Yeah. I think we are under attack. I think Americans too. We like to think, oh, well, no one's come up on a ship and invaded us. But I think every day you have foreign agents. Especially cyber, trying to hack us, trying to disrupt, trying to infiltrate. I even think TikTok too, right? I think China's definitely, weaponizing that algorithm against our own, right? Against youth, and it's disturbing. And
it's funny. We're really, the truth is, we're really paranoid. We amass guns, even food, but we always get surprised and shocked in the end. Like oh my God, we are very we're ready to. We're like, but then we get whacked in the back of the head. We don't know what to do. Like Pearl Harbor or 9/11. Like, it's not like it's not like we're even that lax. We are paranoid. It just happens to us anyway. We're like, duh. We didn't see COVID coming, or some people did, but then when it came, we didn't know how to react to it. And
I think I saw a story that came out that said that even if, say we're under attack, we need to recall the military. We literally don't have a fighting military. Like, we don't have soldiers, right? Yeah. All the Americans were all overweight, fat, and we can't. there's like no. It's not like we have bases filled with soldiers that are training every day to protect us. It's really like we are. I feel very exposed, and I don't know. My fear is too that if we were to be invaded, I fear. This is just my own. Just fear, not based on reality, but it just seems like a logical target to invade would be Alaska, right? It's right next to Russia. It's technically American. It's not the 48, so we might be a little, it's not. It'd be different if they invaded, the lower 48. But if say Russia or China or someone invaded, and I think I always saw rumors of Putin saying that. Starting to argue that Alaska isn't really American because of the treaty or whatever. Trying to essentially invalidate the treaty when they sold us Alaska. But that's my worry, especially with global warming, right? Changing how northern land, right? If the globe heats up, that means that the land up in the north that is Arctic would start to become, developable real estate. And plus, with all the resources up there, it might be in someone's best interest. And to just invade Alaska, do we have any people to defend Alaska? That's my fear, and it's not based on anything other than my own tinfoil hat.
Thinking about stuff.
But it's important, right? We need to think of all situations of how would we, if we were a foreign actor, how would we invade America? Where are we vulnerable? Where are we strong? My fear is Alaska, because if I was Russia, it's right next door. There's resources there. America isn't going to defend it as, it's a huge area. How do you, So I think, and I'm sure, right, we kind of just think, the people in charge, they're thinking of these things. They're protecting us, but it's, I don't know. I fear.
But they say too, big territories like that, like the Russians, they got invaded by the Ukraine. But the thing is, and you would think they would whack them right back. But this is what I heard. Like they have vast territory, so they had vast territory. It's hard to defend everywhere. So you could bring a force into Alaska, and it would be like. It could move around and it's not like we're a small little country. It's I don't know what I'm trying to say.
And that's why I think, in the mainstream U.S. media, anything saying that anything other than Putin and Russia is 100% responsible for the war, you're immediately branded like a Russian sympathist or an agent of Russia. But the truth is, again, zooming out, trying to see things holistically, like you're saying, Russia is a huge territory. Throughout their history, they've been invaded multiple times. They are especially paranoid, right? Americans were paranoid about our guns, the government taking our guns. Russian and Russians are paranoid about being invaded. Because they've been invaded in the past, they have a massive territory to defend. So even the U.S. and the NATO position of Ukraine needs to be NATO. Ukraine needs to be NATO. We're going to move into Ukraine to be NATO. I get that that's how we see the world, and we think we're right. But again, zooming out, seeing the Russian perspective. If you're Russian, you're invaded. You're paranoid about being invaded. You saying that, or the U.S. saying we're going to, make Ukraine NATO, they perceive that as a threat. It's the same thing as if Russia, right, put nuclear missiles in Cuba. It's the same thing, and that's kind of get lost. And I get nervous because too, even leading up to the Ukraine war, the only thing you heard about Ukraine and Russia was Trump-Russia collusion. But CNN, MSNBC could never be bothered to have a segment on the Donetsk region of eastern Ukraine and why it mattered. Nobody ever bothered to explain that to American people. Hey, there's this conflict going on in East Ukraine, and it matters because it might lead to some sort of conflict in Ukraine, which is what we see today. And there was a good, I saw a clip of some sort of strategist, but it was some person knowledgeable of the situation. They were talking about in 2015 exactly what I was kind of saying there of, hey, it's 2015, this is not looking good. If we continue on this path, Ukraine is on the path towards destruction, and here we are. It just feels like, whether it's the Ukraine war, and I always fear that our leaders too, they're not, right, the people leading our countries, they're incentivized to do war. Whereas, you think as a humanity and Americans, we want to avoid war at all costs. Because, the Ukraine war, the war in the Middle East now, as a human being, it's disturbing to see any sort of violence, any sort of war. And I just wish that, the childhood dream of world peace. Can we have world peace?
Why not? Actually, it would be great because we wouldn't have to spend so much money.
War is expensive, right?
It's very expensive.
Which is bad, but also good if you're in the war industry.
But constantly, we've amassed quite a military. We have an insane military, and that's come out. That's our money. That's what could we have done with that?
And that's even RFK when he dropped out. I mean, one of the things that really I think resonated with the crowd, and it felt very much like a Trump in 2016 when Trump was in the Republican primary, and he just said out loud, "Jeb Bush, the war in Afghanistan was a disaster," and it was like this audible gasp in the room. He said that out loud. He's not supposed to say that. Meanwhile, normal American people were like, "Yeah, he said what we're all thinking."
Yeah.
But RFK had a similar moment when he dropped out, and he did endorse Trump. Right? The mainstream media took the 1 second clip of him saying, "I endorse Trump," and took that and spin it off. But during his speech, what they didn't cover was RFK talked about the chronic disease epidemic we have in our country, how we have sickness industries, and he talked about, it's sick people make health insurance. They make money. You can't really make money off of a healthy person. Telling someone to eat vegetables and exercise is not a profitable business model, and that felt similar too. He said that out loud, and that's something I think, whether it's the establishment, right? They're bought by pharmaceuticals. They'll never say, "We need people to eat vegetables and be healthy." They can't say it because that's who they're bought by. So I don't know, something, because at the same time, we're fighting multiple different wars. One of them is the chronic disease of everybody's chronically sick, right? Everybody's on some sort of drug to eat or eat. It's never eat vegetables and exercise. It's always take this pill. Coming back to our theme song.
Oh, yeah. What is our theme song?
Take this gun out of your mouth.
Take that gun out of your mouth.
And eat our pills.
And spit out those pills,
We're Pfizer, and our stock prices are a thrill.
But anyway, so, but it's been a pretty good discussion about stuff.
It's been kind of, and I don't mean to be a doomer. But how can we have 2 minutes here. How can we end the show on a brighter note?
Oh, yeah, brighter note. Okay, good news. I heard good things about the Wolverine movie and Deadpool. I heard good things about that.
Okay. And you said the yeahs.
Next week we could talk about the yeahs. They're a really rocky, they're a bunch of rocky rockers. Rock band, yeah. They're really good to listen to. You young kids would appreciate this.
Yeah. Well, the thing is now, even bands I listened to growing up are now becoming kind of like, I think I just heard, Creed's making a tour, but all these bands that Zoomers might not know about today that were popular in the 90s or early 2000s are now making. So I'm all starting to feel old because soon the music I listen to will become classic rock.
I do have to say though, the older music was a heck of a lot better. I think the music 60s, 70s was better. I think it's gotten worse and worse.
The drugs were better though too, and the corporate business model.
Who knows? But it's I don't think the music today is that great. But maybe it's out there. You have to find it.
It is, but I think back in the day, now between auto tunes and definitely the businessmen have become good at. They know what chord progressions make a hit. They know which 5 male archetypes they need to make a popular boy band. They got down to a science. I think it was Taylor Swift has the most popular songs, but the days of you needing golden pipes, everything can be auto-tuned, right? So it's much more about creating an image than it is about creating actual good music. But hopefully we can change that. And I think with our emerging folk political band, the Uncle John's Band.
We got to get Chris McGee.
Maybe we can jam at First Friday or at Arable's Art Gallery. But thank you for tuning in. If you're still there, I think there was a person that passed away at their desk for 4 days that worked at Wells Fargo or something. So hopefully you're not that person, but hopefully you're still kicking at your desk. And thanks for tuning in.
Okay.
Fade to dark.
Fade to darkness. Oh, okay.
You like those in work?
No.
Hey, folks.